The first day of adolescence. I found myself with a million answers. However, the teenager was not happy at all. Even a little panic. It's because all this was fooled by the original owner. This is a beast world where pets and humans coexist. The strength of the pet beast directly determines the status of the prison master and standing on the top of this world. It was a young man named Liang. His eyes reflect two crescent moons, exuding dazzling light. It is believed to be favored by the moon god. Inside the body is a legend that can travel back in time and space, reverse cause and effect, even the immortal Luna lightning. Admired by countless people in this world. He is known as the King of the Moon, yet such an awesome teenager. He fell to his death for no reason because he rolled around in his sleep. The interpretation of a soul from the earth. This was supposed to be the start of Tianhu. However, as the panel opens, the male protagonist found out the so-called beast pet of the Moon King. It's not the legendary Luna Lightning at all. It's the ultimate flash drive. Except for the name of this disc. Have nothing in common. Strength is a world of difference. The male protagonist instantly feels that life has lost hope. However, the original owner did not lie to him. I think I'm really strong. And believe that the sparkle is just a disguise. As long as you are in danger, you will show your body. Just believe it will come. Excerpted from the King of the Moon's pretentious quotes. And not only that. Even if the 1-star him faces the 8-star Cangyue enemy, I was never afraid. And made a 3-year contract. How introspective this is. If I hadn't read my pet guide. The male protagonist may wake up. However, his pet, after all, is just a flash butterfly that looks like 8 foxes. Nothing but cute. No plugins. It is impossible to surpass the Earth of the Moon. Speaking of plugins, the male protagonist suddenly remembered that the original owner had a mysterious thing. Shina is a picture book. As long as you touch the pure beast in the picture in reality, the guide will be activated. When you accumulate a certain value, you can draw cards. And there's a page about the moon god Morpho butterfly. It shows that it is not activated. This is why the original owner hated this book. Because he denied the fact that he owned the moon god Morpho butterfly. The male protagonist is speechless, but the priority is to get stronger. And this is Moonlight Presale Academy. Moonlight Jade Beasts are everywhere. Cut 10 consecutive draws, first, in case of a big explosion of character. Start an SSR and directly pull out the Luna Flash. This is one that makes people think. I can do it, egret. And under the gorgeous appearance. Hidden power that can destroy cities and nations. And it's such a bug beast. His favorite is actually playing with his mobile phone. Just now, in order to enhance the strength of their poor people, the great Leslie Wong male protagonist just walked out of the dormitory. I met a cute moonlight rabbit. Although I really want to touch it. But there are people around. You can't lose your cold world. Although strength is not enough. But temperament must not be lost. He glanced at a few people from above. He turned around and walked towards the moon pavilion with many pet beasts. Walk slowly with the male protagonist. Various low-level pets surround you. The number of lit books is gradually increasing. And as I walked to a stone door, the first order moonlight beasts are all unwilling to continue to approach. The male protagonist guesses that this should be the territory of a mid-tier pet beast. As the stone door is pushed open, appeared in front of the male protagonist. It's a white deer with a gorgeous appearance. The sign next to it introduces that this is a moonlight system. Middle pet flower deer. Because mate selection is extremely picky, it's now endangered. The male protagonist is speechless. Then the other two students walk, looking at the beautiful manhua deer in front of me. One of them whispered that there was a smear. Feel. And said that some people just like it. The next moment, a mouthful of saliva fell from the sky. The two don't know what happened. I saw the egg rat who was still sleeping before. He pouted angrily, watching them both run away in fright. The male protagonist looked at the stunning egg rat in front of him. I feel like I can. It's not that I can't understand. The egret looked back at the male protagonist. I feel that the person in front of me is a little familiar, especially those eyes. And the male protagonist summons the Book of the Moon to view its information. Just one glance at the male protagonist was shocked, because this is not an intermediary at all. It's a golden screen. Micropressure can kill weak creatures alive. Once you go crazy, the Bailey River region will be turned into a flat system. The supreme of 10,000 beasts receives pampering, a walking nuke. And the supreme receiving pet stays at school. Or he's mild-mannered. Or the school doesn't even know. The male protagonist looks at the logo and looks at the supreme egret. Watch the egret stare at the sign. So, is the explanation wrong? Suddenly, the white deer took an attacking stance. The male protagonist decisively turned around and conceded, and talked to himself guiltily. This white deer is so beautiful. Accidentally stared blankly. Seems like an old dog. In fact, I was panicked. Then pretend to look around at the scenery. Go out quietly. Close the door. Another day to survive. Then run away. The egret looked at the closed door speechlessly. Then he walked to his luxurious bed, fumbling for something. Then a piece of the phone was taken out. Open a browser. Enter what to search for. Find a comfortable position. Slide the screen with the front ladder. The little white deer found the answer he was looking for. Man never thought. As soon as I get back to the dormitory, there is a humanoid that exudes a terrifying aura favored. Appear in front of you. Think about it. Good guy, this is actually the original owner of Forced King, one of the 4 guardians. Just now, the male protagonist was scared out of the moon pavilion by the supreme clouds chasing the moon, and activated through the pet beast guide in the moon museum. The male protagonist discovered that the Book of the Moon can recognize pet skills. This also means that he can continue to act tough. He thought he knew everything. Next, find a pet and say to verify. The male protagonist quietly came to the school square. This is a solitary moonlight rabbit coming into view. The one I saw during the day. The male protagonist squatted down and looked at the little rabbit in front of him strangely. Under normal circumstances, moonlight pets will change their temperament greatly under moonlight. Increased combat power, and this one in front of you doesn't respond. A flash in the male protagonist's mind. Look at his calm king posture. Is he the king who pretends to be a pig and eats a tiger? The male protagonist carefully stretched out his hand for fear of angering the boss and becoming a dish. As the male protagonist touches the top of Tutu's head, the Book of the Moon gives the answer. The moonlight rabbit lacks the physique of the moon. Congenital frailty. Moonlight cannot be absorbed at night. Only on the night of the full moon can you fight. The male protagonist is instantly lost. Isn't this not even the lowest level pet beast? Sure enough, nothing else is related to him. Then he went back to the dormitory alone. The moment the door opened, the male protagonist broke out in a cold sweat. I saw a figure standing in front of the window. It exudes terror. Stronger than the supreme cloud chasing moon. The male protagonist was too scared to move. However, as the other person walks in, he actually knelt down on one knee towards the male protagonist, then born to meet the king of the moon. The confused male protagonist is a little confused. If you think about it, it seems to have an impression. It is a pet beast that is one of the 4 guardians under the original master of Forest King. But I can't remember who it was. The atmosphere fell silent for a while. However, in the eyes of the beautiful woman Sichu Beast, the moon king on the face is full of majesty. The male protagonist coughed dryly and asked what was the matter. The opposite side replies that the recent activities of the remnants of the Black Moon Church are frequent. Close contact with the moon shrine. The male protagonist looked confused. What is Black Moon called? Then stop the other party from continuing to speak. Turn around, take out your phone, turn on 1000 degrees, and enter the content. Okay, got it. No wonder, I don't know. It turns out that this is called too weak. The original owner didn't care at all? But is that really the case? Can you believe it? Grand Supreme, pet. I woke up to find that my house had been emptied. And I learned from the shit shoveling official. I will find a better place for myself. Doesn't that mean you've been sold? Or someone who can die by sneezing on themselves? Sold not long ago. The male protagonist took it from the mouth of his beast insects. I heard the name of Luna Palace. It's different from Black Moon. Luna Palace has existed for thousands of years, is the true hegemon of the central continent. However, this millennial dominance declined over time. Last 3 years, it was shaken by the bi-monthly cult created by the Yuan Master. This time, the 4 guardians under the Yuan Master plan to attack head-on. However, there will be a lack of guards around the leader. So they sent someone to ask the leader for advice. The male protagonist heard the words and thought to himself, what do you like to do? As long as I can't be set up. Calm means as long as you are under the moonlight. No one can hurt me. Hear with your own ears the famous words of the leader. Fanatical powder beautiful women are favored and excited. As the other party leaves, the male protagonist who pretended to be forced broke the attack in an instant. Damn, it's embarrassing. What is this middle school line? The original owner as a senior patient in the late secondary and secondary stages often say some inexplicable lines, like some moonlight staring at me. I feel the breath of the moon god. As long as I'm still under the moonlight, the moon is about to rise. The moon is setting. The above are all taken from the month. The king of acting forced quotes, no matter what you say, even if it's just a meaningless nonsense, can also be taken as a wise saying. In this way, the bi-monthly religion founded by the original owner In just a few years, there are millions of moons. Don't worry about the Moon King who has the moon god morpho butterfly. However, the premise is to really own the moon god morpho butterfly. Instead of the lowest moonlight spots that can be seen everywhere, the hero's heart sinks with the falling leaves. Suddenly, the male protagonist remembered his golden finger. You can draw a lottery. Open the Book of the Moon. Sure enough, you can start exchanging. So step 1, it is to meet all kinds of metaphysical gods. Bless yourself, O Wang possesses. The ceremony is complete. Start the lottery. Automatically turn pages with the Book of the Moon. New pet guide unlocked. This time, I got a high-level pet beast transparent cross-country. It is a very rare dual-level, high-level pet beast. For the average person, this is already an existence that can be encountered but not sought. However, for the high-ranking Moon King, it's a little bit inappropriate. After much consideration, the male protagonist chose to give up his, and with the pet being returned, turn it into experience value and give feedback to the male lead. The male protagonist was instantly happy when he saw it. Immediately, you can get rid of the 1-star Cangyue identity. Become a 2-star Cangyue. After the excitement is endless disappointment. There have been many opportunities to contract a supreme level pet beast. However, the original owner believes that he has a master level Luna Lightning. So disdain at all. Make yourself embarrassed now. But there is still a chance. If you can put the little white flower dew, no. It was tricked by stepping on clouds and chasing the moon. You'll be stable.